I would rather die than watch you marry the prince. Welcome. This is an original story written, edited, and produced by Mika Gifts. Two sisters who would die for each other become sworn enemies. It happened the moment a man got involved. Now Aduni had done the unthinkable by turning the sister she had sworn to protect into a goat. But she did not know a bigger secret was coming, one that would destroy everything she had ever loved. But before I start, as usual, please subscribe, like, and comment. This keeps me encouraged. Also, do let me know which part of the world my amazing story friends are watching from. Now sit down, take your chilled juice and popcorn, and enjoy the story. In the tiny village of Iliadar, there was a small hut made of red mud. Inside lived a man named Babatundi. His back was bent like a bow from many years of digging yams. With him lived Yasu, a woman whose hands always smelled of pepper and red palm oil. They had two daughters named Aduni and Sime. Aduni was the first daughter. She was tall, and her skin was dark and beautiful like cocoa beans. She had a special fire in her eyes. When Aduni looked at you, you could feel the heat. She was the leader of the village dance group. When she moved her waist, the men were so amazed they forgot their own names. Then there was Sime. Sime was the egg of the house because she was soft and gentle. She did not like loud noises. She would sit for many hours under the giant irako tree. She hummed sweet songs that were so lovely even the village dogs stopped barking just to listen. Babatundi always said, Aduni is my sharp cutlass because she protects us. Sime is my cool water because she gives us peace. One Friday, the sun was so hot it felt like it wanted to peel the skin off everyone. The market was very noisy. People were shouting, buy your red pepper and buy your fresh fish. Sime was sitting on a low stool, helping her mother sell palm oil. She felt very tired, so she put her head down. A woman named Yawan walked by. She was a cloth seller and acted like she owned the whole world. Yawan was very angry because the heat was so bad. As she walked past, her heavy foot hit Sime's palm oil. Splash! Red oil stained the woman's very expensive wrapper. Wei-ri, my wrapper! Yawan screamed. Her voice was loud and rough like a broken bell. She looked at Sime with mean eyes. You silly girl! Look at what you did. Are you blind? Sime started to shake with fear. I am sorry, Ma. Please, I will help you wash it. Wash what? Yawan shouted. She reached out and grabbed Sime's ear, pulling it very hard. Sime let out a sharp cry of pain. Suddenly, the air felt different. From the other side of the market, a girl came rushing in. It was Aduni. She ran fast like a hungry leopard. Pa! Aduni slapped Yawan's hand away. The whole market became very quiet. People even stopped to watch. If you touch her again, Aduni said, and her voice sounded like a big dog growling, I will forget that you are an elder. I will pull that wrapper right off you. Yawan's mouth fell open. You little rat. How can you talk to me like that? Aduni stepped even closer. She did not blink at all. This girl is my own blood. If you make her cry one more tear, you will be sorry. Try it. Touch her again and see if you can walk home on your two legs. Yawan looked into Aduni's eyes and saw something very scary inside. She made a loud sound with her mouth, cleaned her cloth, and walked away fast. Aduni turned to Sime. She knelt in the dirt and took her face in her hands. She gave her a soft kiss on her forehead. Sime, why are you crying? As long as I am alive, nobody can hurt you. Wipe your eyes. Let us go home. High up on the hill in the grand palace, things were not sweet at all. Oba Adi sat on his golden throne, coughing into his hand. He was very old and scared. Ajer! He called out to his son, the prince. Ajer walked into the room. He was a man any girl would want to marry. He was tall with broad shoulders, and he had a smile like the morning sun. But today his face was sad. Father, you called for me. Yes, look at me, the king shouted. I am old, but look at you. You are busy playing with dogs and walking in the forest. Where's your wife? If you do not marry, the crown will go to your wicked uncle. Ajer looked at the floor. Father, the girls you bring to me talk too much. They love gold, but they do not love me. I want someone real. The king stood up. I am tired of your stories. 2 days from now, we will have a big dance competition. The best dancer will be your wife. That is my final word. The prince walked out with a heavy heart. He felt like a poor goat being led to the market to be sold. The next morning, the sound of the town crier's drum woke the village. Kong, Kong, Kong. People of Iliador, the king has spoken. In 2 days, every girl who can dance must come to the palace. The winner will be the next queen. Inside the small mud hut, Aduni's heart started beating loud like a drum. Sime, did you hear? Aduni was so excited. This is it. We will both go to the palace to dance. I am the best dancer, so I will teach you. We will be royalty. But Sime looked away. She looked frightened. Sister, I do not want to go. I hate big crowds. Why do you want to dance for a man you do not love or know? No, Aduni shouted. I am doing this for us. We are poor. Sime, don't you want a better life for Mama and Baba? You must come with me. I am not going, Sime said in a quiet voice. The two sisters stared at each other. For the first time, there was a small crack in their love. Aduni practiced her dance every day. She sweated and moved her waist until her bones ached. While Aduni was dancing, Sime went to the river for water. She sat on a big rock and started to sing about a little bird that was afraid of the wind. An old woman walked by. My daughter, the old woman said, please help me with some water. My throat is very dry. Sime quickly gave the woman water from her pot. Mama, let me walk with you a little. You look tired, Sime said. She walked with the woman a long way to help her. My child, thank you, the old woman whispered. She handed Sime a small bag. This is my secret powder. You can use it to change into anything you want. I give it to you because you have a kind heart. Mama, I don't understand. What do you mean, change into anything I want? Sime asked with curiosity. The old woman took a tiny bit of powder and poured it on herself. Poof! She turned into a young, beautiful woman. Think of what you want and pour it on yourself, the woman said. Then she was gone. Sime rushed back to the stream, took her water pot, and hurried back home. When she got home, she saw Aduni happily dancing in front of her parents. Sime pulled Aduni inside the hut and showed her the bag. An old woman gave me this. She said I could use it to change into anything. She changed into a young woman right before my eyes. Aduni's eyes got very big. This is dangerous, Sime. Please do not let anyone hear about this. They quickly hid the magic powder in a safe spot inside the hut. The day of the big competition finally arrived. Aduni dressed in her most beautiful clothes. She tied her wrapper tight and wore her beads. Her mother praised her and clapped her hands. Aduni walked out like a queen. She looked at her reflection and smiled. Sister, let us go together, Aduni said to Sime. Even if you do not dance, come to the palace to watch me move my feet. But Sime shook her head. I cannot go to the palace, sister. I will go to the river instead. I want to fetch enough water for the house before you get back. So Aduni went toward the golden palace, and Sime walked toward the quiet river. The palace was in a total mess. It was the day of the contest, and the king was screaming so loudly the walls shook. Where is he? Where is my son, Obadiah? He roared at the royal guards. Kabiyesi, one guard said, trembling like a leaf. The prince's room is empty. He snuck out of the palace, and we cannot find him anywhere. The king looked out at the palace yard. Thousands of people were there. Girls from 7 different villages were dressed in their best beads and colorful cloths. The drums were already beating. Bo, if the people find out the prince is missing, they will laugh at me, the king hissed. He looked at his guard, a tall man named Ayair. Ayair looked a little bit like the prince from far away. Ayair, put on the prince's royal robe right now. Put the heavy veil over your face so nobody can see your eyes. You will stand there and be the prince today. This competition must happen now. At the river, Sime was singing her sweet songs. She was looking at the green trees. Oh, the wind is strong, but my wings are small, she sang softly. She did not know that a man was standing behind a big tree, watching her. He was not wearing royal clothes. He was wearing a simple hunter's shirt. It was Prince Ajer. He had run away from the palace to find some peace. He had found a voice that sounded like heaven. As Sime sang, a snake started to crawl near her foot. She did not see it. The prince's heart jumped into his throat. The snake was very close. It was a green one, thin like a blade of grass, but full of deadly poison. It moved toward Sime's bare foot while she sang with all her heart. Prince Ajer did not even think. He forgot he was a prince. He jumped from behind the tree and used his hunter's stick to pin the snake to the ground. Do not move, he shouted. Sime screamed and jumped back. She looked at the man. He was tall, his muscles were strong, and his eyes were very kind, even though he looked like a simple hunter. "It's okay," the prince said, throwing the snake far away into the bushes. "The danger is gone now." Sime was breathing very fast. Her chest was rising and falling. You saved me." "Thank you, kind stranger." Ajere looked at her face and forgot how to speak. She was more beautiful than all the girls back at the palace. "I am just a man who likes the forest," he lied, his heart beating fast. "What is your name?" "My name is Adi." "What is your name, girl with the voice of a bird?" "I am Sime," she whispered, looking at his handsome face. "Oh, my mother would have been so angry if my water pot was broken." "Do not worry about a clay pot," Ajere said, stepping closer to her. "A pot can be bought, but a life is a gift from the gods. Why are you here all alone? Do you not know the whole village is getting ready for the king's big dance?" Sime looked away. "I am just a girl who likes the quiet. I do not want a prince. I only want peace." Ajere smiled. It was the first real smile he had felt in many years. "Maybe the prince is not as bad as you think, but I agree with you. The river is much better than a cold stone palace." They sat on a rock together for many hours. They talked and talked. They talked about the smell of rain on dry earth and the way the stars look at night. They did not know about each other's real lives, but their souls felt like they had been best friends for 1,000 years. Back at the palace, Aduni was standing with all the other girls. She looked like a powerful goddess. Her mother, Yasu, stood nearby with a heart full of pride. "Where is your sister?" Yasu whispered. "Why is Sime not here to see you?" "She's at the river, mother," Aduni said. "Let her be. When I win this, she will have no choice but to follow me to glory." Then the drum started. It was the bata drum, the sound that makes the blood feel hot. One by one, the girls danced. Then it was Aduni's turn. When Aduni stepped into the circle, the air seemed to stand still. She did not just dance, she became the drum. She twisted her waist like a graceful snake. She jumped so high it looked like she was flying through the air. Her waist moved perfectly with every beat. The prince, who was actually Ayar the guard, sat on the high chair. His face was hidden by the dark veil. He watched Aduni. Everyone watched Aduni. When she finished, she dropped to her knees in the dust with sweat pouring down her face. The whole crowd went wild. "Aduni! Aduni! The queen of dance!" they cheered. The king stood up with a big smile. He did not care that his real son was not there. He had found a girl who would make his kingdom look strong. "The prince has chosen," the king shouted. "This girl, Aduni of Iliadar, will be the bride. In 7 days, we will come to her father's house with gifts. The wedding will be the greatest the world has ever seen." Aduni's heart exploded with joy. She looked up at the prince on the throne. She could not see his face, but she bowed very low. "I will be a good wife," she whispered to the dust. She thought she had won everything, but she did not know she had been promised to a man wearing a mask. That evening, the sun was setting. The sky was the color of a ripe, juicy orange. Aduni ran all the way home. Sime was already there, sitting by the fire. Her face was glowing with a strange, soft light. "Aduni, Aduni!" she screamed, hugging her sister so hard it hurt. "I won. The prince chose me. The king himself shouted my name. In 7 days, I'm going to be the wife of the most powerful man in the land." Sime hugged her back, but her mind was still at the river. "I am happy for you, sister. Truly, you worked very hard for this." "And what about you, Sime?" Aduni asked. "Your eyes look different. What happened at the river today?" Sime felt her cheeks get very hot. "I met a man, Aduni, a hunter named Adi. He saved me from a dangerous snake. He is the most handsome man I have ever seen. His voice is like a sweet song. We talked for a long time. He makes me feel like I'm the only girl in the whole world." Aduni laughed and rubbed Sime's shoulder. "Oh, a hunter? Oh, Sime, you and your simple heart. Well, let your hunter keep you happy for now, but soon you will come with me to the palace. You will see real men. You will forget all about your forest boy." "I don't think I will ever forget him," Sime whispered. The two sisters lay down together that night. Aduni dreamed of gold and a heavy crown. Sime dreamed of the hunter's hand touching hers by the water. They were both happy, but they were both living in a lie. In the palace, The king was forcing the real prince to stay in a locked room. "You are getting married in 7 days," the king yelled through the door. The prince shouted back, "I will never love the girl you picked." In the morning, inside the small mud hut of Babatundi, Aduni had woken up very early. With excited hands, she pulled out all her colorful wrappers, spreading them on the floor to see which one was the brightest and most beautiful. "Sime, look," Aduni whispered, holding a piece of fine Ankara wrapper. "When I walk into that palace as a bride, I want the sun itself to be jealous of my glow." Sime looked at her sister and gave her a small, sweet smile. "You will make a beautiful queen, sister." Soon, the king's messengers began to arrive. They marched into the compound bringing gifts: fat, heavy yams, strong goats, shiny beads, and expensive wrappers that felt like silk. Babatundi was so happy. He said, "My daughter is the chosen one," he boasted. Yasu's face was bright with joy. "We are no longer the family that just sells oil and pepper," she said, her voice full of pride. "We are the family of the queen." Aduni stood beside her mother, her chin lifted up, looking happy and powerful. But while the house was filled with loud music and the sounds of celebration, Sime grabbed her water pot and ran as fast as her legs could carry her toward the river. Ajer was already there, sitting on a rock. He had climbed over the tall palace walls while the guards were distracted by their midday meal. When he saw Sime coming out from the thick green bushes, his face lit up like a lamp in the dark. "Sime!" he called out with a warm, loving smile. "I missed you so much. I was worried you wouldn't be able to come today." "I promised you I would be here," Sime said softly. "And I never break a promise to you." They sat together in the tall, soft grass hidden by the giant sweeping leaves of the trees. The air was sweet with the smell of wild lilies and damp earth. There was no sound except for the gentle splashing of the river and the steady rhythm of two hearts beating as one. And there, under the cool, quiet shade, they shared a kiss. It was Sime's very first time feeling a man's lips on hers. It felt like a spark of warm fire and the taste of sweet honey mixed together. For a moment, she felt like she was flying high above the trees. It was the most beautiful feeling she had ever felt. Right there, Prince Ajer made beautiful promises to her, ones she would never forget. That night, Aduni sat on the edge of the bed. She saw how Sime was lost in thought. "Sime," Aduni said, "why do you come home so late every day? Your skin smells like the deep forest, and you have dry seeds stuck in your hair. Are you still seeing that poor hunter boy?" Sime froze. "He is a good man, Aduni. He treats me like I am precious gold." "Very precious." Aduni looked her sister straight in the eye. Her gaze was hard and serious. "Precious. Sime, listen to me. A hunter is a man who finds meat today and starves tomorrow. I am going to the palace, so I can pull you up with me. When I am queen, I will find you a real man, a powerful general or a rich chief. Stop wasting your life in the bushes. You are the sister of a future queen. You must act like it." Sime felt a hot flash of anger burn in her chest. "Maybe I do not want a general. Maybe I just want a man who knows the song in my heart." Aduni stood up. "You were being a child. I fought for you in the market. I have protected you since we were babies. Now I am trying to give us a life of honor, and you are talking about a man who sleeps in the dirt. Do not let your foolish heart ruin this for all of us." While Aduni continued to shout, Sime was thinking of what happened at the river. She was thinking of the way Adi kissed her and the sweet future he had promised her under the trees. Meanwhile, back at the palace, the prince tried to speak to his father one last time. "Father, father, please," Ajer begged. "I have found the girl I love. She is the only one I want. She's quiet, she's kind, and her voice is the only thing that brings me peace. Please let me marry her instead of the dancer." The king let out a laugh, a cold, dry sound that echoed through the hall. "The dancer is the one the people saw. The dancer is the one I promised to the elders. You want to shame the crown because of some girl you found in the bush? No. Tomorrow we will go to the house of Babatundi. You will wear your crown. You will smile, and you will take the dancer as your wife. If you say no, I will disown you and banish you from this kingdom." The big day finally came. Inside the house of Babatundi, the air smelled delicious. There was pounded yam and rich egusi soup. The village women were singing, "Our daughter is going to the palace. She will wear a golden crown." Aduni sat inside the hut while Sime put shiny beads on her. Then King Oba Adi and Prince Ajer arrived. Guards followed them with heavy yams, goats, and beautiful cloths. People started shouting, "The king is here. The prince has come." Babatundi bowed very low. "You are welcome to our home." The king nodded. He wanted to start the party. "Bring out the bride. Let my son take his wife home now." Aduni stepped out of the hut. She walked with grace and held her head high. You could still see the fire in her steps. Behind her, hiding in her sister's shadow, was Sime. Sime wore a simple cloth and kept her head down. Aduni knelt before the king and the prince. "My lord," she said, "I am Aduni. I am ready to be your queen." But then the prince's eyes moved. He saw the quiet girl standing behind the bride. He saw the soft eyes of the girl from the river. Ajer's heart jumped into his throat. He stood up quickly. "Sime!" he cried out. His voice echoed across the silent village. Aduni's smile froze. She thought the prince was talking to her, but he wasn't looking at her at all. He pushed right past her. Ajer grabbed Sime's hands. "Sime, it is you. Why are you standing behind the bride?" The whole village gasped. The women covered their mouths with their cloths. Sime looked up. She saw the gold and the crown. She saw the face of her hunter. "Adi," she whispered. You are the prince." The king stood up, his face turning purple with anger. "Ajer, what is this madness? The dancer is the one you are here for." "No, father," Ajer shouted, holding Sime tight. "This is the girl from the river. This is the girl I love. I will not marry the dancer. I will marry her." The world felt like it was breaking in half. Aduni turned to her sister slowly. Her face was no longer beautiful. It was twisted with deep pain. She saw the man she had, worked so hard for, looking at Sime with love in his eyes. "Sime," Aduni's voice was like a sharp knife. "You knew all those days at the river you were stealing my husband." "No, sister. I didn't know he was the prince," Sime cried with tears on her face. "I thought he was just a hunter." "Liar!" Aduni screamed. She stepped forward and slapped Sime across the face. "Pa!" The sound was like loud thunder. Sime fell to the ground. "Aduni, stop!" Babatundi shouted, but Aduni was too angry. "I fought for you," Aduni yelled. "I took a slap for you in the market. I walked until my feet were raw so we could be rich. And you quiet girl, you went behind my back. You used your sweet voice to steal my life." "I didn't steal him, Aduni. He chose me," Sime sobbed. "He chose a thief," Aduni hissed. The prince stepped between them. "Do not touch her again, Aduni." Aduni looked at the prince, her sister, and the villagers who were laughing at her shame. She felt like her heart had been ripped out. The sisterhood was dead. Aduni ran inside the hut, and a few minutes later she ran into the forest. Her wedding beads broke and fell in the dust like drops of blood. The prince wanted to talk to Sime, but she was too sad. He said, "I need to go after my sister. Meet me at the river later." Sime ran to the river. She saw Aduni sitting on a big rock. "Sister," Sime said, "please do not be angry. I did not know. You can have him." "Shut your mouth," Aduni roared. Her voice did not even sound human. "You think I want your leftovers? You think I want to live in a corner of the palace while you wear my crown?" "Aduni, please. I love you." "Love is for fools." Aduni stepped closer. The air started to smell like burnt hair. "You used your voice to trap him. Now let us see if he loves you when you cannot speak at all." Before Sime could say a word, Aduni swung a big stick with all her strength. The stick hit Sime on the back. Everything went black for Sime. Then Aduni took out the bag of magic powder. She poured it on Sime's body, and poof, Sime turned into a little white goat. Aduni threw the goat into the water. Then she took more powder and poured it on herself. Suddenly she changed and looked exactly like Sime. Just then the bushes made a noise. It was Prince Ajer. "Sime," Prince Ajer said, running to her and hugging her tight. "I am so sorry I lied to you. Please forgive.